Gather round, dear listeners, as we delve into 4 chilling tales from within the silent halls of lockdown schools. Prepare yourselves as we explore the eerie whispers and ghostly encounters that lurk beyond the classroom doors. Dim the lights and brace yourselves for a journey into the shadowed corridors of fear. 1. The Whispering Lockers. The day unfolded routinely at Willow High until the piercing sound of the lockdown alarm shattered the calm. Students swiftly moved into classrooms, sealing the doors behind them. In Mrs. Jensen's history class, a group of students huddled together, enveloped in the quiet that now blanketed the school. Among them, Lucy, a curious sophomore, detected an unusual sound. It was a faint whispering, unlike the silence around them. Drawn to the mystery, Lucy approached the classroom door, pressing her ear against the cold metal. The whispers intensified, their source seeming to be the old lockers across the hall. The voices murmured of hidden truths and a forgotten tale, a student who disappeared without a trace decades earlier. The whispers, infused with urgency, seemed to plead for discovery and understanding. They spoke of secrets lodged within the school's very walls, reaching out to the present from the shadows of the past. Lucy listened, rapt, as the whispers swelled into desperate cries for help. The air thickened with tension, each plea etching deeper into her memory. However, when the lockdown finally ended and the doors unlocked, the corridor outside stood silent and empty. The whispers faded, leaving behind nothing but the chilling echo of the school's lost secrets. Lucy and her classmates stepped into the hallway, their eyes searching the old lockers, but found only the ordinary. The mystery of the vanished student lingered, the whispers a haunting reminder of the past, still echoing through the halls of Willow High. 2. The Hidden Room. During a routine lockdown drill at St. Elmo's Middle School, an unexpected event occurred when a false ceiling panel in the storeroom suddenly fell away, revealing a concealed attic space above that none of the teachers were aware of. The discovery sparked curiosity among the students, and with a mix of excitement and trepidation, 8th grader Tom and his group of friends obtained reluctant permission from their teacher to investigate. As the students ascended into the attic, they were greeted by a scene frozen in time. Dust layered everything within sight, covering old-school furniture and a chalkboard strangely marked with that day's date, but from 30 years prior. The air chilled as they ventured deeper, unearthing eerie remnants of the past. A collection of children's backpacks, aged books, and a solitary small shoe, each item shrouded in mystery. The group pondered the significance of these belongings when suddenly, the door to the attic slammed shut with a thunderous crash, engulfing them in complete darkness. Panic surged as they screamed and pounded on the floor, desperate to alert anyone outside to their plight. The atmosphere grew oppressively heavy, the shadows seeming to watch and whisper secrets of the forgotten. After what felt like an eternity, the door creaked ominously open. The children, faces pale and eyes wide with terror, scrambled out of the attic. They emerged not with tales of adventure, but with a silent agreement never to speak of the fear they experienced, haunted by the unseen presences that lingered in that hidden space. This pact stemmed not just from the ordeal, but from the chilling realization that some secrets, especially those whispered in the shadows of St. Elmo's, were better left undiscovered. 3. The Apparition in the Auditorium. During a lockdown at Garnet Valley High, the students found themselves waiting uneasily in the auditorium. As time ticked by, the heavy stage curtains began to rustle, though no windows were open and the air was still. The eerie movement caught the attention of the students, sparking nervous chuckles and whispered theories about what might be causing the disturbance. In an effort to dispel the growing fear, the students started daring each other to go check the stage. Sarah, who always prided herself on her practical, skeptical nature, accepted the challenge with a dismissive roll of her eyes. She strode towards the stage, her confidence unshaken by the anxious murmurs of her classmates. As Sarah stepped onto the stage, the spotlight above flickered to life, casting a stark beam of light across the empty platform. She turned back to her friends with a smirk, ready to scoff at their superstitions. But her taunt died on her lips as a figure materialized in the spotlight. A pale, ghostly girl in a tattered school uniform, her lips moving in a silent, desperate plea. Sarah's scream shattered the silence, echoing off the walls of the auditorium as the figure disappeared just as suddenly as it had appeared, the lights snapping off and plunging the stage back into darkness. The lockdown lifted moments later, but the experience had irrevocably changed Sarah. She walked out of the auditorium in silence, haunted by the ghostly image of the girl who seemed to reach out from beyond, her plea etched forever in Sarah's mind, turning her skepticism into a deep, unsettling certainty of the unknown. 4. The Basement Files. During a lockdown at Lincoln Elementary School, triggered by a nearby bank robbery, everyone assumed their roles to ensure student safety. Mr. Hobb, the school janitor with years of loyal service, saw an opportunity to investigate something peculiar he had stumbled upon in the basement. Among the clutter and shadows, he had previously found old files and tapes labeled "confidential," which piqued his curiosity. As the bustling noise above subsided into a tense silence, Mr. Hobb descended into the basement, his flashlight cutting through the darkness. He found the box where he had left the tapes and began to play them. The recordings were disturbing. They detailed unauthorized psychological experiments conducted on students in the 1970s, which aimed to enhance learning by inducing fear. The chilling accounts of these experiments, described in cold clinical detail, horrified Mr. Hobb. Resolved to obliterate the evidence of these unethical practices, Mr. Hobb gathered the tapes. As he climbed the stairs, intent on destroying them, the basement air grew inexplicably cold. A whispering began to fill the space, growing into a cacophony of voices, the imploring echoes of the children who had been subjected to those experiments. They begged not for the tapes to be destroyed, but for their experiences to be exposed and acknowledged. The lockdown ended just as Mr. Hobb reached the upper floors, tapes clutched tightly in his hands. With a newfound resolve fueled by the whispers of the past, he rushed out of the school. Mr. Hobb knew what he had to do next. Determined to bring to light the dark chapter of the school's history, he was set on seeking justice for the voices that had been silenced, but never forgotten. These stories, dear listeners, remind us that within the walls of our schools, during the silence of a lockdown, the echoes of the unexplained and the paranormal come to life. As you ponder these tales, consider the lingering spirits that may still wander through school halls, forever locked in their own tales of horror and mystery. Good night, and may your dreams be free of the shadows that haunt these stories.